Hello Year 7, welcome back to Food Technology, Term 4. We have a new topic that we're going to be starting today, and you're going to locate that information on Google Classroom. At the moment, you should be looking at 7 Eyes Google Classroom stream. I'm using this for the purposes of recording this video. Click onto classwork, and you're going to notice that I've added a new topic, which is topic 3, eating healthy or healthy eating. We're going to look at this document here. Now, on the video, it shows up as grey, but by the time you see it for your class, it would have scheduled at the correct time. So let's go in and open it. Okay, so you're going to be writing a report. This report will be due in week 3. If you are in my Monday's class, then it will be due on the 19th. And if you're in my Friday's class, then it will be due on Friday the 23rd. Pretty self-explanatory, okay? So that's when this report will be due. You have 2 weeks. You have this week and next week to do this online. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to use this video link here, this web link, and this takes you to the AGHE website. Now, the AGHE is basically the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating, and this is where you're going to find all the information that you need to write this report. There are a list of questions here on this document, and this is to help guide you and make sure that you include all the relevant information. Each one of these questions has a weight, a mark, how many marks it's worth. You can see here that it's in brackets and it's in red. Okay, so you need to make sure that you cover the correct information and enough information in your report. Okay, so some questions are worth 5 marks because it's broken down into 5 different parts. So you get 1 mark for each part that you do. And then you're just going to work your way down the list of questions that you must include in your report. So one thing that I want to draw your attention to, and this is the last question here, and this says to track your food intake for 4 days and then compare with the requirements for your age group using the guidelines on the website. So I'm talking about the AGHE website, okay? You get 2 marks for each day completed that you've tracked for a total of 8 marks. Plus, you get additional 4 marks, which is 4 sentences, for a written comparison between your intake and the requirements for your age group and gender. Now, this question here, I can go in a little bit more detail next week, because you probably need to start with the intro and the basic information by answering all the other questions first, and then you can work on this. However, you would still need to track the food intake for 4 days. So if you can do that from, say, the Monday until the Thursday, if you're in my Monday class, and then if you're in my Friday class, you could track over the weekend, or you could still do it from Monday to a Thursday. So it's entirely up to you. Okay, so I don't mind which days you want to track, but you must have 4 consecutive days. Okay, so it must be 4 days in a row. And what I suggest that you do is you just set up a Google Doc and have day 1, day 2, and maybe put the dates on it, and then you can then just straight away type that into your what you've eaten that day, okay? And then you would use that information and that data to then answer this question, which is a total, you've got a possible 8 marks plus 4, okay? So that's a big part of, that's a lot of marks, okay? So you really need to kind of think about that. You also are going to get awarded 5 marks for correct spelling and punctuation, and then 4 marks is allocated for the layout. Now, at the very start of this, I said that you could use a Google Doc or a slides, okay? So I don't mind which one you do, as long as it's very easy for me to read and it makes sense, okay? So when I say easy to read, I'm talking about the sequence of how you go from one piece of information to the next piece of information, okay? And another tip too is that in a report we often have headings and we have subheadings. So you may want to group together some of your answers so that the layouts are really good. What I would suggest, and this is just a tip from me, is that you spend the first week getting the information from the website and literally typing it in underneath where the question is on this document. So then this becomes like a planning document, okay? So you can at least just record all your information. And then in the second week, you could then copy and paste that information that you've already put into here, into this document, into a report style or a slides, okay? And then kind of make it look a little bit more professional looking or pretty or whatever, okay? So that's what I would do if I was doing this report. I would spend the first week getting all the information, and then I would spend the second week writing it up and making sure that it was right to go. So that's just a little tip, and then that way you know that you're going to cover all of those questions. So this could then become a planning tool for you. So that is the task that you're going to be working on online over the next 2 weeks. So this week coming and the following week. And then it will be due on the third week, okay, which by then we should actually be in class, hopefully. There's no changes to that, and you would still need to submit this via Google Classroom, okay? So, and that's another thing too, when we actually do end up back in the classroom, you still need to bring your tablet or your computer to class, okay? You don't come with notebooks or equipment, okay? I know that's really going to be kind of confusing, but we've got a lot to kind of get to learn about how the kitchen works. And unfortunately for you guys, you still haven't had that opportunity. And so we need to make sure that we get some things talked about, etc., when we do find ourselves back in the classroom. So this is what you're going to be doing, okay, for the next 2 weeks, which means that I need it to be done properly and done correctly, like consistently, okay? So I want to see good work here, okay? And I want you to see you putting some effort into that. I'm going to leave it there, and I will catch you guys later.